Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to another episode of Gills in the Blood TV. Myself and Boz. A little weekly review, as always, and then I look forward to Saturday at home to Southend on the brand new carpet. But there was a game in the week.
I genuinely forgot we were playing.
Checkatrade trophy, or whatever name some people decide to give it. Played at the Valley. Just to add insult to injury to this competition that is on its arse, effectively, innit? Let's be honest. I think unless you win it, everyone else goes. It's a pointless nonsense of a competition. But surprising team lineup.
I think we just said there was 6 what we consider first team regulars, and then you had Reese as well. As you said, he's usually in the 18.
And Naseri's been in the 18, yeah. And the 3 substitutes, you'd say, were all first teamers as well. I know Steve Lovell come out after Portsmouth and said, yeah, I'm going to play a strongish team, I want to maintain the momentum. And I'm not in any way saying that he can legislate for injuries, but unfortunately it's backfired a little bit. We played a strongish team, we got dicked 4-0 by Tottenham's kids, and I think it's been confirmed today that Brandon Hanlon is out for around a month with a hamstring problem. So that's, well, knowing Gills and their history of telling us how long people are out for.
Billy Bingham's been a week away for
Dean Parrott was a week away for a month, so if he's a month away, we'll probably see him after Christmas. But fingers crossed he can get back as quick as possible. Tom Hadler, we've just said before we come on here, unfortunately, he's a very good young keeper, but I think he's played 3 what you class as first team games for us now. Blackpool home, Portsmouth and Tottenham in the Checkatrade trophy. He's conceded 11. Not in any way are we saying that's his fault, but it's not the greatest start to a senior career, is it, unfortunately? Let's just hope he's still, like you say, he's still confident in his own ability and he is playing.
We've seen him like development games, haven't we, in pre-season, but he is a good keeper. It just seems at the moment, it's just not happening. It just keeps
getting picked for Idings, unfortunately. But yeah, so Brandon Hanlon was probably the biggest negative. There did seem to be issues with Luke O'Neill and Tom Eaves, but they seem to have been allayed.
Well, List went off, didn't he, because he took a knock.
But he's all right, so it seems the other 3 should be available for the weekend, and we'll get on to that in a little while. But I think a few people tweeted that did go to the game. Lee Clifton tweeted quite a bit and said that Spurs were very good. They play exactly the same way as they do all the way through the football club, and that is, they play it from back to front, and they get it down, and they pass through the phases of the pitch, and they're very good at doing it. And it's not a Tottenham team that you look at and you go, oh, I do recognise him. That is
my Tottenham mate at work said there was only one that he thinks got a real chance. I think it was the 3rd goal scorer. I've got his name. What's his name?
Brown.
No, what were the names?
It was Rolls, McHomer, Brown and Duncan.
Oh, it wasn't any of them. No, there was only one name.
I think the only name that I really recognised was the keeper, that Whiteman, because I think he was on the bench a couple of weeks ago when Lloris and Vaughan were both injured and Gazaniga had to play in a league game. That's the only one that I would say. There's another McHomer. Is there a McHomer and McGomer that plays for Birmingham?
He was at Burton and we were linked to him.
So I don't know whether he's related to him, but they by all accounts, they were very, very good. I didn't pay £10.
I have a massive OCD with squad numbers, don't I? And it was some outrageous numbers. It was like a 75.
It's a 64.
They can't be having 75.
There's a 70 something there. Yeah, there's a 55. So Boz has just had a little mental breakdown. 43, 48. That's got a 6 at the front. There's another 50 something there. So, but that's the.
At least Tottenham are using it for what it's meant to be.
Yeah, and you're not seeing the likes of 40-plus-year-old players. I think Stoke a couple of years ago included Charlie Adam,
Crouch,
and Steve Shea Given in their starting 11.
Swansea had that Gerhardt
Tremel. Guy Tremel, he's about 156 years old. It's fair play to Tottenham.
They are using their kit. It's what they're in it for.
Yeah, and it probably benefits them more than it benefited us, because unfortunately our kids have come in, and like we've just said about Tom Hunter, they've been on the end of a bit of an hiding, unfortunately. And if we are reading into this momentum that we wanted to keep going, well, it got sorted right out, unfortunately, but it is only Checkatrade trophy. Like we said, with the Millwall defeat and the Portsmouth defeat before in this competition, this performance and this result is not going to define our season.
No, it's always league over cup.
If we go and win at the Priestfield against Southend on Saturday, this swiftly gets forgotten, swept under the carpet, and no one worries about it in 9 months at the end of the season if we finish halfway up the league table. So it is what it is. Ian Cox, the coach, said he tried to take the positives. And he quotes it and says, regarding Spurs, we have seen the future of Tottenham there. From the off, they set a precedent, they got the ball moving, and you could see they were very comfortable with it. From the back to the front, and they took their chances. I don't think there are match stats, but they've scored 4 away from home, so they were fairly clinical.
Yeah.
There's not a lot else to do this week. It's been rather quiet. The pitch is ready. I've seen the pictures on social media. It does look nice.
It looks good, yeah.
Obviously, the proof is in the pudding, which will be Saturday. If it, especially if we're meant to get rain this forecast, it could be interesting. But there's a lot of people on social media that go, "Oh, what we doing? It's a botch job," and we've obviously done it on the cheap because it's been done in the season. Well, Rochdale done theirs in the season and played against Tottenham in the FA Cup a few days later, and it was absolutely fine. So. But it is what it is, regardless of how it happens on Saturday.
We're not suddenly going to start winning every home game because of it, but hopefully it'll restrict the amount of injuries we've been getting.
Well, and also, it's this thing that Steve Lovell keeps saying, he wants to get it down and play it on the deck, and he's always said he can't do it at home, but he can do it away.
As you know,
so it'd be interesting to see how we do set up and how we play. We've got a few injuries, but one man who is back in Kent, he's not come back to us again. You probably all know who we're talking about. That's this man coming up on your screen now. Bona fide legend, Mr. Gillingham, 100% through and through. Andy Hessenthaler has taken the Dover job this week. From the outside looking, and if you didn't know Hessian geographical reasons that I've read about, you think, what are you doing, Hess? I mean, Eastleigh are a couple of points off the playoffs, I think, and
Dover
Dover
got a little bit of money about them, yeah.
Dover are entrenched, aren't they, at the moment? They are really struggling this season. It's the first time they've
genuinely do well, don't they? Normally up
they have done, yeah. And they tend to lose a few every summer, but they tend to get good ones in. But for whatever reason, it just don't work there this season. And Chris Kinnear's had to go. You can understand it, as good as he's been there for years. But
I read somewhere last week that Kinnear wasn't actually a full-timer. He was also a teacher or something.
Yes, I think he had a full-time job. So it was always the thing, if they did get into the conference or the Football League, he'd struggle to commit. So.
Yeah.
Hesse's football through and through. That's his main.
And he's got previous, hasn't he? Before he came back.
Two promotions, two promotions there. Got him up into the National League South, I think. So back to back. So that'd be good, yeah. So he's obviously going to know the club. He's brought in 2 very familiar faces to us, Daryl Hare and Nicky Southall, yes. Who I think it's brilliant that he's back in football, especially in Kent. I think he played for him for a while as well, didn't he? I think he went down low at the back end of his career. So he's going to know the club. Hare knows Kent football inside out, so I think in terms of getting the right people in, I think it's a really good appointment for them at that level.
Brought in Stuart Lewis today as well, which won't do him any harm.
From Maidstone?
Yeah.
Is that on a permanent or on loan?
No, it's permanent, it's 2 years.
Because there's no window down there, is there? I don't know how it works, to be honest. And obviously there is talk.
He was made available for transfer, wasn't he?
And there is talk of a certain Mr. McDonald being lined up to go down there. See something on Twitter the other day, apparently a Dover fan said they don't want him because he's only ever had 1 good season in his career.
Yeah, well, that's 1 good season will be enough to get them out of trouble.
I'm pretty sure he got 16 or 17 in 3 consecutive seasons. He got 25 in League 2, so I'm sure this Dover fan's not watching, but do your research.
It kind of makes sense, because I'm sure Cody's married to Hesse's daughter, so it would make sense.
And then there's a relationship between the Hares as well, isn't there? There's something as well, it's all a bit interlinked.
I think Josh Hare actually moved to Eastleigh, didn't he, over the summer?
I think he did. He left Maidstone, so it'd be interesting what he does now. It might be worth keeping an eye on him, see if he moves back this way. But yeah, enough about Hesse. Sunday, we never play Sunday. I don't know where that's come from. We host this lot from over the water. Southend are in town. 11th in League One at the moment. So, on the back of Portsmouth last week, you'd say that the next 4 are slightly more favourable.
Yeah.
I mean, we're that horrendous run. We can't dress that up, sugarcoat it, pretend it's anything other than it was. It weren't very good. But, in fairness to us now, we've played 6 of the top 7 already this season.
Yeah.
The only one we haven't played is Doncaster, and I think we've got them in a couple of weeks. And they've lost the last 2, I think, after starting really well. Be an interesting game. I think they started pretty slowly, but I think in terms of last 6, they've taken, they're unbeaten in 4. They've won 3 and drawn 1 of the last 4. They've taken 10 points from the last 18 available. We've taken 4 from the last 18, but it's 4 from 6. To try and put a positive spin on it, it's just a draw and a win in the last 2. So fingers crossed we are going in the right direction again. They've been half decent away from home this season, 8 from 18. So Not 2. I think it's 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. If you'd offer that every season, you'd take that away from home, wouldn't you? So if your home form's decent, we're only 4 from 15 at home, but we have played Sunderland and Peterborough in that time. The major disappointing ones were Wimbledon and Coventry, weren't they, when we only picked up 1 from 6. So, but their record at the Priestfield ain't very good. They ain't won there since 2011-12. The last 4 games, 2012-13 when we won the League 2, we beat them 1-0. And then the last 3 seasons when they've been back in League 1 with us, we've drawn 1-1, won 2-1 and drawn 3-0, and we've also beat them in a Checkatrade trophy at home as well.
So 1-1, that was the Doug Loft outrage one at the end, wasn't it?
Where I think
like a
the wind caught it and Daniel Bentley got stuck underneath it, yeah. So, but it's 4 unbeaten at home, or 5 if you include the Checkatrade game. So our record against them's decent. We tend to get favourable decisions against them, if I remember rightly. When they were Ryan in his soft sending off a couple of years ago.
They don't have...
was there a soft penalty in that game as well?
I think there might have been.
So, the Josh Wright double.
Their centre-back's a bit younger this year. I think they've let Ferdinand go. I'm not sure if Turner's still there.
They got Harry Lennon in, didn't they, from Charlton in the summer?
I think he's been injured. I don't know if he's been playing.
There's a lot of familiar names. Again, you look at them and I think there's a squad and you go, is there loads of Stardust?
Probably a little bit similar to us.
Kitely, probably, if he's on form, he's the one with pedigree in terms of his career.
Strikers have started well, I think, haven't they?
They've done all right, yeah. So it'll be a tough game. We know we're going to have to be at it from the word go, and then we'll see where that takes us. If we can get the ball down and play on the new pitch, and all well and good. I think Gills fans, all we want to see is commitment and people working on and playing for the shirt. And I think that was probably the one thing that was levelled at them a couple of times in that poor run up until Shrewsbury away.
That's what we said last week, didn't we? It was nice to see people were doing their jobs. And
absolutely, everything was left on the pitch. Yeah, I think James said that on the podcast on the way home. So in terms of team news, no Brandon Hanlon, no Billy Bingham, and no Regan Charles Cook. They're the confirmed ones, I think.
Yeah.
There's a couple of maybes over the likes of Tom Eaves, Luke O'Neill, Conor Ogilvie, I think Barry Fuller as well. But I think Ian Cox has said he thinks they'll all be all right. So, team?
I wouldn't change it much from last week.
Well, we're going to have to now,
aren't we? It's Hanlon for List, isn't it? But if List isn't fully fit...
Yeah, then it might be...
I always think with List, he's not a bad sub to have to come on. Because
Coventry.
even if he's half fit...
20 minutes running at tired defenders, yeah. So we'll go Thomas Odey in goal. If Fuller's fit, I think he stays at left back. He was immense last week.
Good,
So Max, Gabby and Luke, back 4.
Yeah.
Alex Lacey in front.
Yeah.
Callum Riley and Mark Byrne from the side. Dean Parrott as the attacking midfielder. Tom Eaves starts for me. You simply cannot take him out of the team after last weekend.
I think he has to start most, even if he's in a poor run, he can do this.
So we've got a choice between, because there's people on social media saying we've got no strikers. Well, we've still got List, Wilkinson and Liam Nash is back.
Yeah.
I'd go List if he's anywhere near fully fit for me, because I think there's still, I know we say this, I know people say Conor Wilkinson's a slightly different type to Tommy's, but a similar build, and I think then we're just inclined to go long and early too quickly.
Wilkinson is the ideal sub for me. Similar to List.
And you said, if it's a scrappy game and he comes on, he can put his foot in and get amongst things, and get amongst centre half. So
obviously we've got no Josh Parker this week, he's in international duty.
Jamaica, I think, is it? There's some right disgusting places for international duty.
I wonder if Nolan Bowe's getting close. He's put a couple of things on his Instagram. I'm starting to wonder if he's been told you're not far away.
What, from us?
Yeah.
Could be. Depends, doesn't it? I suppose it'd be him or Nash in there, wouldn't it? I think they're probably both still in front of Leroy Hilabi.
Benton Bowe wasn't even in the squad, was he, for the Checkatrade? So maybe he's not as close as I think.
True. Interesting one. Bradley Stevenson comes back into contention, I suppose, if there's a couple missing, but Navi Nasseri. But you've got to be as close to that 11 as possible from last week, haven't we? So, right, it's that time. Oh, I've not written it down.
Have you
not? Go.
2-0 Jules.
2-0, clean sheet. Love it.
Eaves and I fancy Mark Byrne again. I said it last week. Byrne doesn't score tap-in, so expect a while there.
I'm going to go 2-1 Gillingham. I think they always score against us. If we just look at that last 4, I think there's been, in 3 of them 4 games, both teams have scored. But I'm going to go 2-1 Gillingham. Tom Eaves. I have a habit of saying this and people get injured, so...
You did this with Charles Cook for a couple of weeks, didn't you?
Go Elliot List. Elliot List has been all right. I've seen him a couple of times and he scored. So 2-1, 2-0, 5 away from 900 on the channel. I keep saying, if we get there, we might do a prize giveaway, but it's up to you lot now, please. If you can get us there as quick as possible. We're now at, what, nearly 920 on Facebook, which is excellent, so thank you very much. that box down there on YouTube. You comment, you let us know what's going on. Who would you start Saturday? Score predictions, all that sort of stuff. Please keep liking, sharing, retweeting and all that. And until next time, up the Gills.